Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another Black Powder update. Before you we have the completed 3rd Brunswick Line Battalion, and this is actually the last unit of this particular brigade. I've just got the command to do, and he's basically going to be on the books next. Now this squad, or this battalion rather, is a little bit different to the other two. The first one was sort of 99.5% parries. The second one was 99.5% front rank, and this one is kind of there's more front rank in here than there are parries, just about, I think, or is it about, it's roughly about half actually, thinking about it. So basically this unit is made up of front rank and parries troops. Why, you may ask, is because I wanted to save money. For that, I suppose that could be like the biggest thing. I don't want to waste figures, and obviously the front rank pack is a 36-man pack. I only used 24 of them. I think I used one in my one or two in my very first unit. Of course I chose not to use the front rank drummer, and I used the parry drummer. And then of course we're left with, I tried to use as many as I possibly could, but without wasting any parries figures, because I think I got, could there be 12 parries guys here? I think there's 12 parries guys plus the command, so there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 command, and the rest are front rank. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 parries, and the rest are front rank. Okay, so let's give you a blurb. So like I say, these guys are the 3rd Brunswick Line, and they are led by a Major von Norman. And these guys have white collars and white stripes down their trouser legs. And we shall start by giving you a look at them from the back, as I normally do. So here we have the first 4, and you can see on this particular stand we have 3 parries guys and 1 front rank. And the thing that I quite like about this sort of style is that the front rank guy looks a lot older and fitter, and the old parries guys are a little bit shorter. They're a little bit thinner, a little bit, you know, a little bit more, a little less food in their bodies. Sort of the new recruits, the rookies, and of course the Brunswickers at this time had to fill up their ranks with a lot of volunteers and hyphens conscripts, mostly with you know, quite dubious backgrounds, some of them. I think it's kind of like a fairly believed that there was borderline criminals within the ranks. So yeah, I really do like the sort of the transition between the slightly beefier looking front rank guys and the thinner looking parries guys. So that is the rear rank. And I did actually make a conscious effort to slap in a lot more corporals into this particular unit. So as we're going along, you'll come across a lot of these front rank guys with corporal stripes. So here we have, I believe it's a 2-2 split. So we have, oh, actually no, I think it is 3 parries again. Yeah, it is 3 parries in a front rank again. I quite like the parries ones because they have some unmoustached guys in there, where all the front rank guys were moustached up, and I quite like that, especially seeing the kind of being like younger guys. I think that looks quite good. So there we have the second stand. You can see that the effect, my painting technique effect of the sort of black works really well. You know, it did what I wanted it to do, which was to because obviously when you look at somebody in a black uniform, the they hardly look black. They actually, you know, they come off like in greys and sort of almost like a sort of you know, white streaks, especially in sort of bright sunshine. Yeah, the sort of look that I wanted was, I wanted to sort of still have that sort of effect, but also try and keep them as black as possible as well. And I think it works quite well, and it's a very easy technique. I mean, I've probably got slightly better at it as I've gone along, you know, because you kind of get used to sort of areas where the light hits and stuff. But it's very easy to do, and perhaps if you're interested, I could you know, maybe do a little, you know, show you how I do it, sort of thing. Even though it's really not very difficult at all. But yeah, that's the second stand. Third stand, and again we have, I think we have 2 Perry's guys in here. So we have the 2 front guys, front rank. You can see they've got the bushier moustaches, and the young uns have got the thin moustaches. And of course, could do with a good feed as well. So there we go. That's those boys. Then we will go for the drummer's stand. So here we have a half and half split again. So we have 2 Perrys and 2 front rank. We have another corporal sluck in there. And we have the drummer, Perry's drummer, and a Perry's trooper there. And I really do like these the Perry's drummers. I think they're great. They've got really nice positions. Sometimes it's a nice change to see some different position drummers rather than sort of the standard 2 or 3 poses that you tend to get. So that is the drummer stand. Then we'll go for the NCO stand. Now again, no NCO figure, but it's quite easy to make a sergeant because you just basically give him the coloured waistband, and of course just give him some sergeant stripes. And although he's not particularly correct, because really he would have like a sabre there, or a little sort of sobriquet type sword, and he'd probably be wearing this on the opposite side, but it does the job, you know. And then we've got, I think we've got 3 Perrys on here. We've got this guy turning his head towards the sergeant. I think that was quite. It took a bit of time to sort of sort through all the different positions of figures to make sure that they kind of all thematically kind of fitted, you know. So there's no guys just looking off blankly to the side without a reason. And then finally, always my favourite stand. These guys are the standing command from Perry's. So yes, you know, slightly odd because they're standing and the rest of the guys are sort of marching, but I did really like I want different poses. You know, me and my officers, I don't like having duplicate officers, so I always try my best to either change the position or try and get a different posed command group. In this case, luckily they had 2 available. The standing and the marching, so I managed to get the standing, sorry. And I think this is a great command pack. I'd say that the only thing that took me by a little bit of surprise was that this particular flag bearer here is holding his flag particularly high up the pole, so I had to kind of rest it against his leg there. You can kind of see it. Where on this one, because I cut it a little bit longer, it does actually reach his foot, but it's still again a little bit on the short side. But luckily his hand's a little bit further down. I mean, I suppose if I thought about it, actually I could have just got some flat nosed pliers and just bent that arm down a little bit. That would have been a lot better to do. But yeah, so he's holding the Duke's flag, and of course because it was a Perry's command pack, I've got the little crown that I stuck on top of the front rank topper, and this is just a brass spear with an almost correct head. Actually, if it was just a little bit broader, it would be spot on. And of course, again, I went for the silver look on these guys, even though it should really be sort of grey. But I kind of wanted the officers to sort of stick out a little bit more. And I did actually give it, I do give it like a null and wash to sort of tone down the actual, the metallic look. And sometimes you can look at it and you kind of get tricked into thinking it is a sort of a grey. But either way, it looks a lot better than grey when it's actually on the figure. So I am pretty chuffed with that little bit of artistic license there. Yeah, really nice command figures, especially like the lieutenant at the back here. I did think about making him the colonel at first, but I thought no, he looks better as the junior officer, not the colonel, the major. They're led by majors. And then this guy's looking very regal. I thought he's got to be the commanding officer, this guy. And yeah, so again, GMB flags, really nice. You just can't fault GMB for flags, really. And yeah, this is actually the last unit that's actually got flags. I think the only unit left that's got anything to do with flags is the actual Uhlan Lancers that have got their little pennons to go on their lances. So yeah, so this is like I say, the third line infantry unit and the last unit to have a flag. And that's 3 battalions down, which means there are 5 to go, plus 2 artillery batteries and 2 regiments of cavalry. Although actually historically the Uhlans are actually just 1 squadron, but I'm going to basically do a full unit of them for black powder. Because like I say, although these are based on historical orders of battle, I'm not building them to realistically play the Battle of Waterloo. I'm building them up to give me forces that I can play black powder with, or any other sort of Napoleonic game. So I follow orders of battle, although they're not, you know, various sizes may change. Like for instance, my 95th rifles that I've got in my British, they are much bigger than they would have been although I suppose they're still a small unit, because they are only like 18 men, and they can be sort of split up, but again they can be fielded as a sort of a battalion of their own as well. So yeah, that's the end of this little video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I tend to try and put a video out every week, although sometimes it just goes over a little bit. I am in the process of 2 quite big projects, the Brunswickers, the 3rd Corps project, and also 2 cavalry, 1 cavalry brigade for the British and 1 cavalry division for the French to be done. So it's going to be quite a long process, this particular project. And yeah, I think I've done a good little step into it so far. Like I say, my next figure is probably going to be the command figure for these guys, so I can finish the battalion. And then I will actually do a sort of a battalion overview with all 3 units. Yeah, and then we'll continue on from there. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Just zoom in a little bit. There we go. Until then, catch you later. Bye bye.